Welcome to the BAM Sports Show.
I carefully place all of it in various trash cans around.
Any other headlines you guys are interested in tomorrow?
I'll poop in a urinal.
It's going to be a wet one.
He shoots. He scores. You suck.
Rip's wife is going to make him sleep in the bathroom tub tonight.
A dark horse candidate of where I may eventually want to end up living for good.
Welcome to a brand new sports show experience coming through your wavelengths. Let's get ready to have some fun. So sit back, crack open a drink, and let's talk some sports.
And let's talk some sports indeed. Welcome to the BAM Sports Show. I am your host, joined tonight with the birthday boy.
Birthday.
Happy birthday, my dude.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
What'd you do? Anything fun?
Not today.
I ate a big old steak. That looked good.
I did eat a bagel steak. I did not expect it. My wife had it ready for me when I got home. So
Ooh, that's a keeper.
It's a beautiful thing.
I had pizza rolls. Not quite as good.
They're still good.
They are still good. Well, hey, it's just us two tonight, so we got a fun show planned. We got some XFL recap. We've got some franchise tag, deadline stuff, news out of that. And then, because it's just us two tonight, we're making this a big wrestling show because fuck it, we can. Put your fucking booger picker down. Get that shit out of here. I'm not even ready for that.
So mad. You're so mad.
It was. We'll get into that later. But kudos to WWE and their creative and writing because, like you pointed out, it was within 3 minutes of fucking roller coaster of emotions and a ride, and it was beautiful. If you haven't watched Raw last night, sorry, we have spoilers. If you've not watched it, don't listen to this fucking show. Or listen to the show and deal with spoilers. I don't fucking care. Where you want to start? You want to start XFL? You want to start NFL?
Let's do XFL. It'll be short and sweet. Because a lot happened. The NFL happened yesterday. A lot.
Yeah. What do you mean today?
Well, yesterday, today. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go XFL first. Let's roll.
It's time for the BAM Sports Show Extreme XFL Recap.
XFL. Let's ball out, baby. Caw is still the law.
Down here, we say caca goes in the toilet.
The fans say, give us our beer snake back and we'll stop throwing lemons.
What a really XFL-wise, it was a good weekend. St. Louis took their first L, which sucks.
They did take an L, but it was a great game. We watched football.
We did. And
good football.
I think we said it a couple weeks ago, the earlier in the XFL, we're going to have a lot of defensive struggles, a lot of defensive matchups. Because not the offenses are bad, it just takes a little bit for those systems to be in place and, the timing. We watch it in NFL and it takes, 12 weeks, 13 weeks? You think training camp and then preseason and then, hell, week 1, week 2.
They're almost in OTAs right after the drafts.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, Saturday we had the Sea Dragons and the Vipers. Sea Dragons
that was a fun game.
Win. That was a great game. I was the only one that took Vegas in that one. From the show, and it damn near paid off, but unfortunately, I'm the loser.
You are the loser because Josh Gordon decided he wanted to almost back into the end zone.
I can't even be mad at him. I lost. I was the only one that took Vegas there, but
right.
Vegas looked good.
They did.
Seattle looked good. Is it Ben DiNucci? Is he Seattle's quarterback? Yeah. He's leading the league in yards. He had some poor throws that we were all like,
he had some Dallas Cowboy throws.
Yeah, poor decision throws, I guess you could say, right? But it paid off for him.
Dallas Cowboy throws.
Yeah. And then on that 4th and 1, just unbelievable to just literally be running backwards, catch the football, stay in bounds, and then get around the 2 defenders for the score. Flash Gordon does it again. Unbelievable.
2 touchdowns in that game. Pretty impressive.
Yeah. So, Seattle did get that W on Saturday. I don't know who they have this week. I don't have next week's schedule pulled up. We'll look at that on Friday, unless you have it in front of you.
I can have it in front of me pretty quick. You know who looked really good in that game, and like I think it was a big factor of them losing, was Brett Hundley.
Yeah.
Until he tweaked something,
Yeah.
and then he wasn't the same quarterback after he tweaked his hammy or whatever he tweaked.
Yeah, they kind of dropped back into coverage and were like, all right, if you're gonna beat us with your legs, beat us with your legs, but you can't now because you're fucking hurt.
Yep, and they play the Defenders next week
Oh, okay.
in DC.
I fucking hate those fans, man. They're so fucking annoying. Like, shove your beer snake up your ass, squeeze the lemon juice in your fucking eye.
Yeah, leave the beer snake to the Cubbies. Leave it to us.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. So, and then on Sunday, we did have DC beat St. Louis 34-28. St. Louis damn near had that cardiac cat magic that Rick was talking about a couple weeks ago.
Damn near.
Until it turned into pretty much just a fist fight.
It literally turned into a fist fight.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. I mean, literally with even the coach is about to throw hands. So it was.
Well, both coaches are suspended for this weekend. So.
Are they No, it's next weekend, right? I think the suspensions are for next week. Because we should have them this week. It's the home opener for St. Louis, which I will be at with our buddy John, unless you buy a ticket and join us.
I will not be doing that. Sorry. As much as I want to.
And then Arlington, what a boring ass game.
I did not watch that game because it was just boring.
Like 10-9 over the Guardians, and like we all thought the Guardians were going to be the worst team in the league. We've said it countless times. We thought Arlington would be a good team. We thought it would be a blowout, actually, and I mean a 1-point loss by the Guardians, which is tough. And I don't think they've passed 9 points in a game all year long. I think that's their highest total.
Maybe they're not.
Maybe 12. Maybe they've scored 2 touchdowns and no field goals. But I mean, yeah, Arlington gets a win there. They go up 10-9 on the Guardians, which just a boring game, not really what anyone wanted to see. And then to Rick's credit, I mean, Houston Roughnecks, they host the Brahmas. They win 22-13, which was a really good game as well. I mean, Rick kind of hyped. I think Rick's hyping up the Seattle, the Vipers game is the best game of the week. I can't remember if it was that one or it's the Brahmas game.
Well, it's going to be crazy in St. Louis this weekend.
Oh, it is going to be rocking. We're going to have 35.
I may feel it. I may feel it in Springfield.
Yeah, I am excited. I actually ended up selling my season tickets to the opener this weekend, thinking that we were going to be working on the property, thinking that the game was Saturday. Then my dumbass realized that when you look at a calendar,
the game is Sunday.
On a Sunday, so I just rebought tickets. Whatever, it'll pay for beer.
Orlando has scored 12 points, 9 points.
Yeah, so they've not passed 12 points, which is, I mean, insane, right? Like, just wild, just fucking wild. But then again, if that quarterback was actually giving up their playbook, maybe it kind of makes sense. But I don't think they looked really any better this weekend without their playbook being quote unquote leaked.
Right.
So now the XFL did make a statement that quarterback was released from the league. He was released from the team. He will not be playing for the XFL.
Did they bring him back? Pending investigation.
No, I think they're from what I understand, the statement that was made is that they're looking at bringing on a new quarterback into the league for Orlando, and it's supposedly someone that we all know. So is it like a Johnny Manziel or a Tim Tebow type?
Give me Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz would be interesting. I mean, what's he gonna do? He's gonna be a backup somewhere in the NFL if he does play.
Maybe.
Why not go get healthy, play in the XFL, get some game reps in, and just.
He can go be the second best quarterback in the NFC South.
Yeah, I mean, you got Derek Carr with New Orleans. You got Desmond Ridder in Atlanta. You got Sam Darnold in Carolina and Kyle Trask right now down in Tampa. I think Trask's going to be okay though. I really do.
I think Ridder's going to be okay.
I agree there as well. I'm excited to see Ridder get those actual game time reps and go into the offseason knowing, hey, you are the dude, you are the starter. This is your chance. Because when that happened at Cincinnati, he was a totally different kid.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, I mean, just a good weekend. I mean, the only, and I know we talked about this to an extent, extensively, I guess not to an extent, extensively on Saturday night. My only issue with the XFL was the communications issue with the Seattle and Vegas game. Right. And I don't wear a tin hat. I don't believe in, all the like the shit's rigged and stuff like that. To me, it was just poorly handled by the XFL and the league. For a team that's as transparent as they are, for comms to stop working magically after a touchdown and then magically start working when you get the ball back, just seems a little
little sus, a little sussy.
Yeah, and again, I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat. I'm not saying that the XFL is rigging games. It just looked bad. And my only issue with it is after the game, we were not talking about Flash Gordon's amazing play. We were not talking about the good ass game that we had. We were talking about the comms, and that's something that I think the XFL wants to avoid.
They do. They don't want the NFL rigging, like the scripts from the NFL that's been going around, which we all know is not true.
Right.
But they don't want that PR.
Yeah, like I said, it was just weird for a league that is so transparent on everything. Like number 54 farts on the field, you can hear it.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they address it when it happens. Hey, Seattle's headsets aren't working. We're going to pull them off. Next thing we know, we see fucking Hazlitt using his headset, calling plays in, and they score a touchdown and win the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's Dean Blandino. Like, hey, dude, like, I don't know what the answer is. Like, at that point, there's 2 minutes left in the game. Just pull the headsets off everybody. Just pull them off entirely. Be done with it.
For sure.
Now to Rick's credit, I think Rick said in week 1 or week 2 when DC was there, they had communication issues as well.
Yeah, the Vipers are having issues with their home stadium with communication.
They're just having issues with their home stadium.
Yeah, it's not a football stadium at all. It's terrible.
It did look better this week than last, though.
Well, it wasn't raining this week, so that helps. That helps. Because last week it was raining hard.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think. If you guys think that the XFL kind of misplayed that, or if you don't know what we're talking about, go back and look it and let us know. But I am excited for this coming weekend. St. Louis finally, week 4, gets their home opener, which is weird, right? Like for any kind of sport, like you're almost halfway into your season, right? Because we don't play 10 games, so it's game 4, and now we're finally getting to go home.
It's a little weird, but think about it this way: you got a lot of home games towards the end of your season.
That dome is going to be rocking, and I cannot wait to call the motherfucking law. And I think Arlington is I would not want to be Arlington this weekend.
No.
Like, you only put 10 points up against Orlando, and now you got to go to St. Louis, where we're going to have almost 4 times as many fans as what was in Orlando this weekend. Like, that bitch is going to be loud. St. Louis is a football town, and I think that they are rallying behind the Battlehawks to prove it. Prove everyone wrong. But we'll
love their football.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'll give them that.
It's wild. So we'll talk more about XFL Week 4 this coming Friday when we kind of do our picks and predictions. We got everyone back on the show. Ryan's not with us tonight. He's not feeling well. Ryan, we hope you feel better. Kids suck. That sucks. So if you are watching, Ryan, feel better, buddy. I got to sneeze.
You too, Lucy. You feel better too. I know you're not watching, but feel better.
Is Lucy sick too?
Yeah.
Well, Lucy, hope you feel better. Thank you. You got your dad sick.
Kids, man.
Oh, man. I am all over the place tonight because I got different setups and shit. So yeah, today, NFL franchise tag deadline was at 3 o'clock Eastern? Eastern today. Some noticeable individuals that we saw the franchise tag get used on. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, right? $32 million franchise tag. Does he play?
No. I wouldn't.
Do you think he arranges a trade?
Maybe I don't know if they'll trade him.
Well, so it's
maybe.
The tag that he's got is that he can talk to other teams and try to get a trade. And if if another team, or he can get another contract with another team. If the other team, say they offer him $50 million a year, then it goes to Baltimore. Baltimore has the opportunity to match and keep Lamar, or they can let him go and get 2 first rounds for him.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to play for $37 million when Daniel Jones just got freaking $35 million a year.
Hey, hats off to his agent, man. That's how you play the fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel went out and proved himself this year, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants are kicking themselves for not taking that 5th-year option.
Fifth year. They messed
And
up.
and they're going to overpay for it, right?
They have to now. It's their own fault.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean that even leads to the other domino on the street, right? Like, because they were able to come to an agreement, now Saquon was able to be tagged,
Which is huge for them.
Which is huge for them, and it's unfortunate for teams
The
that are
Bears.
running back. Not even the Bears, but just other teams out there, right?
Any team looking for running back, yeah.
Same thing. Josh Jacobs was tagged. 10.2 million, I think, is what his
franchise I don't think he plays for that either.
If I'm him, there's no way in hell I'm playing for that.
There's no way.
There's no way.
He went out and proved himself this year.
Yes, he did.
1,600 yards. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, he was. I grabbed him as like a Hail Mary running back in one of the fantasy leagues, and he ended up being like a workhorse all.
Yeah,
it was absolutely fucking wonderful. In other news, Orlando Brown from the Chiefs did not get tagged, so he will be testing free agency, as well as Ryan Clark. 2 big parts of that Super Bowl winning Chiefs team going to free agency.
I think they need to free up cap. So
I don't even know where their cap space is. Do you know?
That's a Ryan question, and he's not here.
Yeah, no worries.
That's Ryan's expertise. But with how much they're paying Patrick, I feel like they just don't have a whole lot of cap room.
Yeah. Other notable franchise tag. I mean,
Evan Ingram
Ingram got tagged. Saquon, Evan Ingram, Lamar Jackson, Josh Jacobs. We already talked about Daron Payne. That one hurts as a Bears fan. That one really hurts as a Bears fan because I think he was someone that the Bears were literally going to write him a blank check.
Here you go.
I mean, just show up, don't be drunk, don't be overweight, and you're going to get paid probably $200 million.
Yeah.
So that one hurts. Tony Pollard down in Dallas. Now, Zeke is due $60 million. Nothing's guaranteed on that. Do you think he's cut, or do you think they restructure that?
I think he's going to restructure. I think he wants to stay in Dallas at least one more year. So I think he'll restructure to just hang around, still be the starter somehow, even though Tony Pollard's a better running back.
Tony Pollard's way better as the starter there.
Yeah.
And he outperformed him this year. Really kind of outperformed him last year. I think the problem with Zeke is they paid him for what he did, not what he could do.
Yeah.
He had those 2-3 good years, and that was fine. That's typically a running back's shelf life, right? Like 4, 5, maybe 6 good years.
Yeah.
Other notable non-tags, CGJ out of Philly. Free safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will not be tagged. He's going to get to test free agency. A kicker, Matt Gay, not getting tagged in LA, which, whatever. Dremonte Jones, defensive end for the Broncos, not getting tagged. Jonathan Jones for the Patriots, not getting tagged. I mean, we really have kind of a good idea on who's going to be a free agent this coming season.
Yep. Should be lots of money for the Bears to spend, right? That's what you just want. Spend all the money.
Yeah, I mean, we've got...
My team has no money to spend, so...
Yeah, but you're not as bad as, like,
the Saints.
New Orleans, or, the Jags. The Bucks are $57 million over cap space.
The Saints are like $80 million over. Or something
not according to the list I saw today. The Bucks were farther than the...
Were they?
Yeah, I think the Saints are only like $25 million.
Yeah.
It'll be...
Saints signing Carr helps somewhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of starts that's the first big domino to fall in this quarterback carousel that we're going to see this offseason. Geno Smith got a 3-year, $105 million
That's a
deal.
lot of money for him.
$52 million this upcoming season of their cap goes to him. $52 million. And I know that Rick is banging that Geno drum, and I know that Geno had a good year. But how many times have we seen a kind of fluke one year where someone's really good, and then the next years they kind of fall off? Geno has not shown us anything previous outside of this year that he's worth $52 million, in my opinion.
Right.
So, I mean, again, are you paying him for what he can do or what he did? Yes, he had a good year.
I think you're just paying him for what he did. And he had a great year, but I don't think they won because of him.
I agree.
I think they got lucky a bunch. I think the Giants got lucky a bunch this year too.
Yeah.
When they beat I know I'm banging my Packers drum, but when they beat the Packers in London, they should have not beat the Packers in London.
Agreed.
They shouldn't have beat the Bills week 1.
Yeah.
Which is insane. But I don't think Geno's getting paid for what he just did.
Yeah. And I hope for Seattle fans that it turns because I love Danny, I love Rick, so I hope that it turns out to be good for them. But I know Rick's not happy, but I would not be happy about paying $52 million for Geno Smith.
No.
I
guess they don't have to waste one of their good picks this year on a quarterback. I guess they can build up other places instead of worrying about quarterback again.
Yeah, I still think I see them taking a quarterback, maybe late, second or third.
Yeah, but they don't have to burn a first or try to trade up with somebody and take somebody.
I think that puts them solely in the Jalen Carter, Will Anderson kind of sweepstakes there.
See what happens with Jalen Carter come that day.
True. I did see a mock today that dropped him all the way down to 12.
It depends on, he might drop farther than that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Don't dump my water.
I
almost dumped my water.
Oh, don't do that. That'd be a sloppy mess.
Yes.
Other NFL news. Obviously, we kind of already touched on this. Derek Carr signing with the Saints. I like it for the Saints because obviously he's a step up from Winston, right?
Yes.
But I don't think for him it's going you had some serious weapons in Vegas. Darren Waller, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow.
Right.
Now you've got Chris Olave.
And maybe Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
maybe
but it's not the Michael Thomas from years past.
And maybe Alvin Kamara if he's not in jail.
Yeah, but again, even if he's not in jail, it's not the same Alvin Kamara that we've seen.
Yes.
I think it gives him stability to maybe build around Carr. Maybe now the plan is okay. We're going to reevaluate draft and free agency to put some weapons around Carr and make some trades and this and that. But they're over cap space, so I don't know about bringing in free agents to help that team get better.
But what the Saints bring too is a better leadership program than the Raiders.
I would agree.
I don't like the owner. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It's a crazy guy with a crazy looking mullet, whatever his name is. What's his name? It's going to drive me crazy. But they have a winning tradition in New Orleans. Granted, it's been years. But I just think the ownership is better.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, their fans are probably better, right? But it's shocking to me that
Mark Davis looks like he got a chill haircut.
Yeah. Mark Davis there in Vegas. But I like it for Derek. He's in a better situation. I agree with that. From an organizational standpoint.
He doesn't have to play Patrick Mahomes 2 times a year, Justin Herbert 2 times a year.
Russ Wilson 2 times a year.
Russell Wilson with Sean Payton.
Yeah. I mean, Sean Payton's put a hell of a staff together there in Denver so far.
Yes, he did.
We're going to see real quick if it was Hackett or if it was the team.
Well, I think we'll find out. I think it was Hackett.
Yeah. Now, where did he end up going anywhere? Do you know?
I believe he's the offensive coordinator in New York, the Jets.
That's interesting, which leads us to our next point. Aaron Rodgers supposedly met with the Jets yesterday.
The Jets are flying to California
Are
to
they?
meet with Rodgers.
Again, or for the first time?
They are flying to California they flew there today they flew there after Rodgers met with them. And the Packers have given permission for that.
Yeah. So the more that this kind of builds some smoke, the more that I see Rodgers going. I know you and I were talking earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I do think this is where Rodgers ends up is New York if he plays.
Yeah, it's either
right?
like I said to you, it's either New York, Vegas, Packers, or he's not playing at all.
Yeah, I can see Vegas because of the Devontae connection, right? Like, hey, come play with Devontae. He's got a good team. He's gonna have a good tight end. He's gonna have a good running back. He's gonna have the weapons. He's got a small dick head coach in Josh McDaniels, but it is what it is.
I hate Josh
Now,
McDaniels.
if you are Rodgers, would you rather go play with your former offensive coordinator or former head quarterback? It was offensive coordinator, right there.
He was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay. Yeah.
So if you're Rodgers, put yourself in Rodgers' shoes. Which team are you picking? Because you're going to have to pick, right?
If it's between the Jets and the Raiders, and not the Packers, if it's the Packers, I don't care. If it's not, whatever, I don't care. But if it's between Jets Raiders, I'm going to the Jets.
Really?
They have a better offensive line. They have the running back in Brees Hall.
Is he better than Josh Jacobs though?
He's not better than Josh Jacobs, but he's serviceable and could have won Rookie of the Year. And they have the Rookie of the Year in Garrett Wilson.
True. And the defensive Rookie of the Year.
And they have the defensive Rookie of the Year. And so they have the defense. They have an up-and-coming offense. And they have Hackett, who he loved.
I think the Jets need one more weapon for that really to be a success. Because, let's be realistic. You got 2 years with Rodgers, right? Whether he goes to Vegas or he goes to New York. You probably
2
got
years max.
Max, if not one.
If not one.
So I think you need one more weapon for him in New York for it to be worth it.
Yeah. And they could go get a tight end. There's tight ends out there. I think Dalton Schultz could be a potential. Because I don't know if he's going to go back to Dallas.
Yeah, he was not franchise tagged. Obviously, Tony Pollard was. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So he will be a free agent.
So Schultz could get into there. That'll be a big weapon for him.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. I think if we're talking win right now, win this coming up season, it's Vegas for me. But then again, you've got to look. You're in the defending Super Bowl champion division with the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to play the Chargers twice here. You're gonna have to play Russell Wilson. So maybe it is New York. But then again, you still got to go through the Dolphins, and you still got to go through Buffalo.
Yeah, going through the AFC period is going to be rough right now. Staying in the NFC is the smartest pick, but I don't know if he wants to stay in Green Bay anymore. I don't know.
That's the only team in the NFC that's going to that can touch him because the Packers have already said they're not trading him to an NFC team.
Right, they're not. They're not going to.
So,
if they do, they're stupid, and you'll see me rant on this show again about the Packers.
They would be dumb to trade him to the NFC, which I get. You got to control your assets when you can.
And like I told you earlier, I've been through this. I'm old enough to live through the Favre drama.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm just like, he plays where he plays. I don't care.
It will be interesting to see how kind of all that plays out. Last NFL headline before we kind of get into WrestleMania and wrestling news. You see that shit about Joe Mixon?
I did.
That is fucking wild.
I didn't read the article because I was busy all day.
So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, there was some kids playing outside of Joe Mixon's house with like a Nerf war or whatever. And 11 gunshots rang out from inside Joe Mixon's house at the kids. I believe did he hit one? I can't remember.
He shot one in the leg.
Yeah. So, and he's already got a record too, doesn't he?
I feel like every NFL player does anymore.
That is true.
That's just me.
So it'll be interesting. Now, what I didn't see is any news on T. Higgins for Cincinnati. That was kind of
There's
quiet.
nothing on T. Higgins yet.
So, but I mean, I know they've come out and said, find your own fucking wide receiver. Like, we're keeping him. But I don't know how you keep him, how you keep Tyler Boyd, how you keep Jamar Chase, and how you keep Joey Burrow. I don't understand how you can pay all of those guys.
Yeah, no idea.
It'll be interesting. But, most importantly, it is WrestleMania season.
We are 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away?
First weekend of April, so a little over, 26 days, I think?
26-ish days. It's 2 weeks when we're there.
Yeah, which we go in a week from Monday, which I'm pumped.
Yeah, I am excited.
Should get we will get Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes at least.
Yes, we will.
I know they've announced that. Last year WrestleMania season, I was brand new back into wrestling because I really wasn't following it at the time, but I was brand new.
You're coming back.
I was making my comeback, and now I'm here.
And now you're seeing all the mini storylines that just randomly pop up.
Yeah.
It's a fun season, man. It's really fun.
It's wild.
You just gotta take it for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, so let's talk about last night's Raw. So this is the time, guys. If you are a wrestling fan, you've not watched last night's show, turn the show off.
Or don't.
Come back on Friday, or listen to sports. We don't care. Talk about a range of emotions at the last 2 minutes of a show.
Yes, it was gorgeous. Triple H is killing every storyline right now. Literally every storyline.
So, in case you missed it last night, Sami Zayn did defeat Jimmy Uso in a one-on-one match last night in the main event, only to have Jay come out at the end. I guess he came out before the end of the match, standing on the table as Jimmy, got pinned 1, 2, 3 by Sami. He comes in the ring, stares at his brother, grabs his shirt, looks like he's going to rip the shirt off of him, drops his head, walks off, goes over to Sami, gives him this big O fucking hug, all this love, all this affection.
And Blake, what did you do? What did you do at that point?
Well, what did you do first? You went radio silent.
I did. I was taking it all in. But did you send me a message saying fuck the bloodline?
I still today stand by that message. Fuck the bloodline. Fuck the bloodline. I don't know which faction I hate more, the bloodline or the Judgment Day. I mean, it's close.
You hate the Judgment Day more.
Mostly because I think I could beat up Dom.
You think you can beat up Dom, but Dom will probably kick your ass.
Probably true. But I'm gonna
you look at Dom. You look at Dom
on this show and hope that he comes on the show and tells me that I'm fucking wrong.
You look at Dom. You think you can kick his ass. You hate Rhea too.
I do, and it's weird because I don't like Charlotte Flair, but man, I hope Charlotte Flair wins that fight.
She won't. I'm sorry.
You think Rhea takes the belt?
I think so.
Do you think we see both women drop their titles?
Maybe, yeah. I've seen it happen before, but Bianca's more likely to drop it than Charlotte.
I would agree with you.
And I really want Bianca to drop it. Just because I'm tired of seeing her come out and
I'm on my own.
Every time her song hits, I'm like, oh great, now I gotta watch her whip her hair back and forth.
It was interesting last night when Bianca was getting double teamed, I guess you could say, after her victory over long ass face Carmella by Chelsea Green, and Carmella whooping the shit out of her, only for Asuka to come out, missed fucking Chelsea Green as Carmella dipped the fuck out.
Yes.
Carmella's
not dumb.
True. Did you see them heels that Asuka? Asuka. I don't know why I said that.
Did your brain just shut off for a second?
Yeah, I saw her name and I just mispronounced it in my head for some. It's a Tuesday night. I'm fucking tired.
You're good. So am I.
But she came out rocking them Bianca Belair heels.
She did, and she was not in full get up. It's very rare you see Asuka not in wrestling gear.
Yeah. What was cool, I guess, to me though, is like she didn't have any of her face paint on, but she still had that same kind of grin to her, if that made sense.
Yeah.
Like you can see that she's bought into that evil Asuka.
That was her character in Japan.
Evil?
The character she's doing now is her Japan character, and like
Really?
her original NXT character.
I like it. I like it a lot.
It's a lot of fun. It's better than what she was doing. And like they've always made her officer seem like she can't speak English like very well, but she can.
I mean,
like you kind of saw it last night.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a great match. I mean, Asuka Belair is going to be a great fight.
It's going to be a fun fight, and it might highlight date night one.
That may, yeah, you might be right because I don't think we're going to get Roman Reigns 2 fights.
No, as much as we
bullshit.
Which is as much as we want.
Bullshit. We got a part-time like your main event champion is a part-time act, and that makes no sense to me in the WWE.
I understand your frustration, but you have to understand my frustration. Like he's not as part-time as Brock used to be. Brock would take the title and disappear before you started watching again. Brock would come in, take the title, and disappear for months and months,
really,
and months and months, and show up for like big pay-per-views, and that was all we had for a long time. Him and Goldberg both did it.
Really?
Yeah, it was annoying. We didn't have a champion for forever.
Why do you think the WWE does that?
Because Brock Lesnar and Goldberg bring in the money.
Yeah.
They bring in the big money, and that's the only reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me, right? Like it's your main event. Like that is your main event. It doesn't matter what night it is, doesn't matter what card it is. That is your main event. And you get him once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks.
And Cody's doing, to his credit, he's doing house shows.
Who, Cody?
Cody's doing house shows, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, he can cut a fucking promo.
Speaking of promos,
that John Cena promo last night was amazing.
Somebody got unalived last night in a promo.
It was absolutely 10 out of 10 for Austin Theory. Like, I almost felt bad for him.
I didn't. I loved every second of it.
Oh, that comment about pumping in crowd noise. I literally laughed out loud.
I died. And then he ball tapped him as he was walking out.
And then stopped and was like, you need to work on that.
You need to work on that part. That was amazing.
So we do have confirmed John Cena versus Austin Theory at WrestleMania for the U.S. Championship, which will be, I think, going to be a really good fight.
It'll be a fun fight. I don't think Cena wins.
See, I'm torn. I mean, you got him on the cover of your video game. It's in L.A. where he thrives, right, from acting and moving and stuff like that. I can possibly see a short title reign from Cena.
Maybe a one-night title reign. Like he drops it back on like the biggest Raw is what they call it. It's the Raw after Mania.
Which, if you notice, last night Cena brought that up.
Yeah.
The theory. He already referenced the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So maybe we get something there.
Maybe. Speaking of going Hollywood.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Logan Paul.
Bring it in, baby.
Logan Paul made Seth Rollins go night-night last night.
Yeah, he did.
I know it's probably staged, and he probably didn't really go night-night, but
he sold the hell out of that.
He sold the hell out of it. Logan just knocked him out with his Paul knocked him out with his bionic hand is what I'm going to call it.
Yep.
Because he's got metal in his hand from breaking it, hitting a freaking punching bag like an idiot that Logan Paul is. I will defend Logan Paul to the death.
Dude, he's a great wrestler. He's great in the WWE. And I mean, he said a line last night that like he said to Seth or something like, "I'm better at what you do already." And I don't know that that's true because Seth is fantastic and Seth is great.
Seth is great.
I mean, his bye-bye bitch 2 weeks ago, hilarious. But I like how Logan Paul did the same thing to him last night.
Bye-bye bitch. Throw some mic at him.
So, I mean, other confirmed matches we got what? Brock Lesnar and Omos.
The worst match on the card.
I think it's gonna be pretty stupid.
It's gonna be terrible.
And I'm a Brock Lesnar fan. I think it's gonna be a waste of time. I'm not gonna watch. I mean, I'm obviously gonna watch it. But
You're
I'm
gonna
not
watch it.
excited to watch that.
It's gonna be terrible. Like, it's just two big men, and one of them is awkward. I respect what Brock does. I don't respect what Omos does.
No.
I'll say to his face, or his dick is probably as far as I'll reach. Because he's 7'3".
Yeah, I mean, do you think? Okay, so if he beats Brock, I mean, obviously, I think we're gonna see Brock lose there, right? Like, we're kind of seeing Brock spiral out of control.
Yeah, maybe.
So if Omos beats him, do you think we see him start to challenge like Gunther or for a title?
God, I really hope not. I hate Omos as a character. He's not a good on the mic. He needs a manager to be able to do anything. Which
MVP's a great manager. So.
MVP's a great manager. That's another thing we need to talk about is who's Gunther going to face at WrestleMania. I think we're eventually going to get some type of battle royale or a gauntlet match soon.
That would be cool.
Soon on like SmackDown.
For like a number one contender spot?
For number one contenders.
What if they did like a battle royale the Friday before WrestleMania? Is that too late?
No, they've done it before.
Have they?
Yeah. But like a gauntlet, like you know what a gauntlet match is? Have you seen one?
It's where like they send somebody in every like couple minutes, right?
No,
or, like, when you win, the next person comes in.
Yeah, you win, the next person comes in, but then that person that lost is just eliminated.
Yeah.
So, gauntlet match would be fun. They did one a while ago that Rollins lasted an hour on Raw.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Who would you like to see challenge Gunther for that title?
Probably Drew.
I
think Drew would be a fun match. I wanted Brock versus Gunther.
Didn't Drew come out this last Friday?
He was the first one that came out with all those people. It was Drew and then Sheamus and then the New Day.
Yeah.
And Karrion Kross came out. And then somebody else came out.
Yeah. I could see Drew challenge. I mean, but I think my only thing that I don't like about Drew challenging is I think that breaks up Drew and Sheamus. And I kind of like that storyline right now.
You like the Bash Bros? Or
I do.
What are the
Banger Bros?
The Banger Bros, that's what it is.
Banger after banger. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I think Drew could push Gunther. And I think like Gunther's whole storyline and character has been like respect the title, respect it, this and
respect
that.
the sport.
Yes, and I think McIntyre is the kind of guy that I could see Gunther dropping the belt to because he does respect the sport. He puts his time and he puts his effort in.
He does.
And then last match that we'll kind of discuss before we get out of here this evening, we do have a Bray Wyatt storyline again.
We do.
The Muscle Man dance.
Do the Muscle Man dance. Wiggle your butt.
It's interesting, right? Like we've always seen Bobby Lashley just be this big ass motherfucker, and now like he's gonna have like mental games. Uncle Howdy got speared the fucking half.
He did on Friday. I wasn't sure if he finished watching, but Uncle Howdy came out, tried to beat him up, and it did not go well for Uncle Howdy.
I'm curious. We still don't know who Uncle Howdy is.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. You think it's Bo?
I think it's Bo.
I'm almost kind of disappointed in Triple H on this. We hyped up.
I don't know if it's Triple H though.
Okay,
I think it's Bray.
You think so? Dragging it out this long?
I think Bray just wants to drag it out, and I don't know what he's doing. He's had one match since he's been back.
Yeah.
One live match since he's been back.
Yeah, he did a couple house shows, didn't he?
Yeah. But like it felt like a warm up for the pay-per-view.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I bet you we get more of that on
Friday.
I think we hopefully will start to get some bigger chunks of that. The other thing on that note is like I asked you, I think last night in our chat, what the fuck happened to Alexa Bliss?
I have no idea. I wish I
Like,
could tell you.
there was so much going on there with Bray and Uncle Howdy, and then it was just like done.
It's gone. Well, it was reported she's taking a break after she lost the title shot. When she lost her title match. That she's taking a break.
Still weird to me because
it's very, very weird.
She was building up that Bray story. I mean, unless she just shows up at WrestleMania just completely off her fucking rocker like Nikki Cross and possessed by Bray.
Yeah, she's back in her old crazy Alexa Bliss costume.
So I don't know. That's the only thing that really has me like questioning. Like I love the Bray storyline. I love the creepy aspect of it, but it's just like, where are we going with this?
Like, nowhere. Until it goes somewhere, I'm gonna say it's going nowhere.
It almost feels like they're buying their time, right? Like,
yeah. Like, but what? Like, not my computer. I don't like. Why are they taking so long to do one story? It's annoying at this point. He's had 2 feuds.
Yeah. I mean, and the LA Knight one is kind of weird. Now, I will say, the whole LA Knight, Bray Wyatt, I gained a ton of respect for LA Knight.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah, he's good on a mic. He's good on promos. Was he the other guy that was talking about WrestleMania that night we were talking about?
Oh yeah, he was there. That's the other guy.
Yeah. So, and then of course we got the Miz. So we've still got quite
the host of
matches.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, we've still got quite a few storylines and matches to build out. So I'm excited for the next couple weeks.
You think we get Dom versus Ray?
I don't know what's going on with that, man.
Ray's got to hit him eventually, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. If it was my kid, I would have hit him by now.
Hell yeah, that dude would have been slapped. I'd have slapped the shit out of my kid.
Yeah.
I don't have a kid.
You have a kid. Who do you think fights for the tag titles? Anybody? Do you think it'll be Sammy and Kevin?
I would like that because I think that's probably the best chance that they have of losing the titles. Right. Here's my thing. I don't give a shit who wins them. I don't give a shit who wins the undisputed Universal title. Split the goddamn belts.
Please, God.
Split them. Take them back to SmackDown and Raw, both the tag team and the main titles. And honestly, at this point, I say give the women their own Raw and tag team titles because Becky Lynch and fucking Lita aren't going to keep those belts for very long. I've got tremendous respect for both of them.
That's another match.
I love them. But Lita's old, man. Like, old.
But that's another match we forgot to bring up is the triple threat.
Yeah.
Not the triple threat, the 3 women, whatever the hell it's called.
6-man.
The 6-man tag. There you go.
Man.
That's the word. It's Tuesday. We're tired.
It is.
And it's got your girl in it.
Anytime Trish Stratus involved, baby, I'm there.
And somehow she looked better now than she did 20 years ago.
Because we're adults and we're like, fine. God damn. Like, when we're younger, it's like, okay, Trish Stratus, she got some big titties and a nice body. But now we're like older, we're like, she aged well.
Yeah. I remember doing like my creator character back in like old WWE games.
Uh-huh.
And you can choose your music. I would just pick her video just to watch it when my character would come out. I'm a sick fuck.
Fucking great. But yeah, but again, Becky Lynch is in her prime and she's wrestling with 2 older, late, not now that they're old, but in wrestling they're old. Like poor Lita up there going up for that swanton, like she looked old.
She did.
So, but it's Tuesday. We're going to get out of here. We had a great show. Keith, I hope you had a great birthday, my friend.
I did.
It was everything that you would have wanted and even more.
You see my new present?
Yeah,
Right there.
both of us rocking our new birthday presents.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Almost
I'm
like
sure I sound great.
I know you do. I can hear you.
I don't look great. We'll figure that out.
You always look great. We'll be back on Friday with the whole
For sure.
crew. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Goodbye.